Cop realizes she just made the worst mistake of her life.
What kind of mistake is that?
It must be something real bad. It just says the worst mistake of her life. We about to tap in, man. Show you. Get them snacks, gang.
Just step out of the car real quick, okay? Now explain what's going on. Don't.
You're not doing nothing.
Don't. You're tense enough, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Grab back. Wait.
I'll tease you.
Oh.
You did?
Yes!
Okay.
What?
I
Oh.
shot him! Oh my God!
That happens a lot.
Right.
That happens a lot where they say they be grabbing the wrong thing. I mean, one is heavier than the other, and I know it's a lot of people that's gonna be like, "Oh, you don't know how you act in that certain situation, what you would grab and stuff like that." But they know where they at,
Right.
and you should be mentally trained in those situations to know how to handle it and know what to grab. Is light and that's heavier. Come on, man. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but that's my opinion.
I shot him! Oh my God!
A traffic stop in the spring of 2021 turns into chaos for the officers, the driver, and the entire community when a fatal mistake becomes a national flashpoint, igniting a wave of unrest. As agitation spreads throughout the city, the tensions between the police and the public erupt, and the world watches to see what justice will look like in this explosive case.
What the hell?
Oh, that's what happened. I guess.
I got you. We're going.
The following report is based on official police records, and some of the footage has never been seen before until now. On April 11th, 2021, two officers in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota stop a car when they notice expired tabs and an obstruction hanging from the rearview mirror.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Really?
Move forward.
Ain't that stupid? He's gonna block the.
You're gonna stop right here.
Officer Kimberly Potter takes up position at the rear of the car as her trainee, Officer Anthony Lucky, approaches the door.
Hey, what's going on, man? You got a driver's license and proof of insurance for me at all? You don't have a driver's license? Okay. What's your name? You're Dante? Okay, gotcha. Well, there's a couple things here's when I stopped you. The air freshener hanging down there. Yeah, can you do that? And then our other question is your tabs. Yeah, just keep looking for the insurance, and then I'm gonna write your name and date of birth down, alright?
The man they've pulled over is 20-year-old Dante Wright, and a young woman named Elena is in the passenger seat.
I wanted to say he was lying, but I think he's honestly telling the truth, so...
As the police run Dante's information through the system, Dante calls his mom for advice.
He called me and he said, Mom, I just been pulled over. And I said, for what? Like, that was just my first response, like, what did you do? And he said I had air fresheners in the window, or the rearview mirror. And then I said, okay, we'll take them down. He was like, you think I'm in trouble? I was like, no, you're not in trouble. What would you be in trouble for?
But what the police find shifts the course of this traffic stop.
Just run him as Dante Ready. No, just run him like you were in DVS.
Yeah.
Just don't put all that other information in.
Oh, okay.
See what it gives you.
Status, suspended, mail, state records hit.
See? You don't want to code for yourself.
He's got a gross misdemeanor warrant, and there's an OFP for a female, so I need to ID her. There's also residue, like weed on the middle console, so try to search the car. Apparently the car is his brother's.
You want to tell him what the warrant's for?
Warrant is for the weapons violation.
The officers, who have now been joined by a sergeant, return to arrest Dante, taking the first steps toward an encounter that will end in disaster.
Just have him step on.
Hey Dante, alright man, here, do me a favor. Just step out of the car real quick, okay? And I'll explain what's going on. You can just put your phone on the dashboard there, okay? And then the paper. I'll explain all that in a second, okay? Just turn around, put your hands on your back.
Didn't tell you you're under arrest, Dante.
Okay, so you are going to be under arrest, okay? You do have a warrant, so... Don't.
I'm not doing nothing.
Don't. You're tense enough, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Grab back. Wait.
I'll tease you!
But Officer Potter's taser is holstered on the left side of her belt. She reaches to the right, tragically grabbing her 9mm
And see, that's what I was saying. That's why I was reaching like this, because they usually have it on this side, and that's so you just panicked and got scared and just grabbed the right side and just.
You didn't see it.
She forcing her way to get in there to try to.
the left side of her belt. She reaches to the right, tragically grabbing her 9mm instead.
I'll tease you!
See, you holding that shit. She holding it out there just like that. You can clearly see it. She said, "I'ma tase you," but you waving it like this.
Right? That
a black gun.
Yeah, that I don't.
You got that, man. Come on, man. You can clearly see the yellow on the tasers. You know what you was doing.
Grabbing her 9mm instead.
I'll tease you! Taser!
But the next sound is not the electric crackle of a taser, but the loud report of a single gunshot. Dante Wright is instantly aware of what happened.
Ah, he shot me!
Probably
I
unalive.
shot him!
You did?
Yes!
Good.
My grandpa! I shot him!
Yeah.
Kim, sit down.
The booming sounds from down the street are from Dante's car smashing into an oncoming SUV before rolling to a stop at an intersection a block away from the initial incident.
Damn.
One cop is already on the scene, and soon
Got to
there
go.
will be many others.
Critical contact shots fired. Got more units, please. We're gonna need additional units.
Kim, that guy was trying to take off with me in the car.
But Officer Potter is inconsolable, and the news isn't improving.
The driver is not breathing according to the passenger.
Oh my god! What have I done? What have I done?
He's trying to make it justifiable, telling her that he was trying to take off with him in the car. Okay, some people put themselves in there. If that's going on, then back up off the car and let him take off and go.
And then-
Don't put your life in danger. But she went in there with the gun. I mean, she could honestly possibly
made a mistake, but
that's
Yeah,
come
that's
on,
just-
man. Come on.
right.
And I ain't care. I'm not saying if it's black or white. It can be anybody, but that's just unjustifiable. You just pull it out that long. I'm gonna tase you. You didn't realize you had the wrong damn gun.
Right, well, she was doing like this, and she wasn't looking like I'm telling you, she ain't
Like,
looking.
come
see
on.
what she had in her hand, like.
My god! What have I done? What have I done? I'm supposed to scream. No one else there. I'm supposed to scream. I'm in traffic. What did I do?
At the crash scene, where the police response is growing by the second, Elena gets out of the car as the officers prepare to move in on Dante. Few, if any of them, know exactly what happened here.
We heard over the radio that Brooklyn Center officers, there was a possible shooting, took the male out of the driver's seat and began performing a first aid on them.
Paramedics quickly arrive at the scene as well, but little can be done.
As I approached, I believe they stopped doing CPR. I checked a pulse on his right carotid for when I was aiming at about 10 seconds. I moved over to the left carotid to check over there as well. I did not feel a pulse.
Dante Wright is pronounced dead at the scene,
Oh,
and while it's not
senseless.
clear if Officer Potter immediately received the news, a Hennepin County lieutenant finds her in a worrying state.
I got down to her level and I'm talking to her and she was just saying, repeating some things and, obviously I just told her to stop talking. She repeatedly kept saying that she wanted to die. Again, how my conclusion came that there was something critical that took place. I'm going to prison. I want to die. Just let me die. I talked to her sergeant twice, and on the second time, he finally listened to me, I said, you need to take her gun from her, because I didn't know the whole realm of it, but I knew it wasn't good.
Officer Potter is led to an ambulance where she's checked out before being transported back to the police station. Officer Potter, of course, is far from the only person experiencing trauma from the day's events.
I went outside screaming, like I was just so distraught. My neighbors heard me, and my neighbors like, no, I'll drive you. And there was so much traffic, and I was like, oh my God, I can't. I got on the car and it started running, but it was so far away. So I had to get back in the car, and I couldn't go any further. I just seen yellow tape.
In the meantime, cops from several departments and jurisdictions have blanketed the area, and many still have very little knowledge about what happened.
Hi there. No, I don't have all the details. I just replaced it. No.
Hope it wasn't one of our own.
What
What does that mean?
Right.
So ain't nobody else's life no important. It's not important as long as it's not one of your own.
Boy, I trying to tell you, man.
What happened?
Hi there. No, I don't have all the details. I just replaced my partner about 5 minutes ago. I haven't heard about any officers being hurt at all, but I don't know any details.
When Dante's mom finally gets to the scene, she's confronted with the same lack of answers.
I finally got into the yellow tape, and the police officers were stopping me. I'm like, oh my God, is that my son? And I seen the car that we just gave my son 2 weeks ago was smashed up with another car. And I was like, oh my God, was he in an accident? And Brooklyn Center police officers were talking to me, and they said they had no information. They don't know what happened. I said, well, I know what happened. I was on the phone. He just shot my son.
The sight of this many police cars has attracted attention, and it's not long before the mood grows hostile.
Me, everyone is yelling out a window while you're driving. These people don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened, and they're threatening to hurt people. Unbelievable.
But the atmosphere surrounding police shootings is tense in the spring of 2021, and that tension is perhaps especially palpable here in Brooklyn Center, where, less than 10 miles away, Derek Chauvin is on trial for the 2020 death of George Floyd, and as news breaks out about Dante's shooting, the gathering crowd begins to take the shape of a full-fledged protest.
Avenue North, 3 Avenue North. People here, do not be violent. Get the fuck out of the page. Do not be anybody. I want you to fight them. Get people here right now. Take people here. Avenue North, right now. Do not go to the go. The reason why they have so many kids out here is because they don't.
But the growing unrest at the scene of Dante's shooting is only the first glimpse of what is in store for Brooklyn Center as the day turns into night, and news of the incident continues to spread throughout the community. Riot squads gather at the police station as the protests spread, and troubling reports come over the radio.
Minneapolis, female stated looting of Walmart will be happening soon, and hung up on.
And as temperatures rise across the city, it's perhaps inevitable that some protesters are detained.
My phone is ringing. Can you see what that is, please? Yeah, answer it, but can you tell me who it is? Because it's going to be my mom, and she's going to be very disappointed in me. Oh, man.
That's crazy.
I thought I was doing the right thing. It's looking real great outside. It looks like you guys got it all under control.
Even as the protests turn chaotic in some areas, police must also confront destruction and theft throughout the city.
I'll be honest with you, I got no idea what to do here. Because I think everything around here is getting good.
The wide net of property damage and looting sends the cops to multiple businesses throughout the night as they struggle to keep up with sporadic outbursts of criminal activity.
Dang.
You better get the phone! Get the phone! Y'all better get home! Stop it! Stop it! Police, you're under arrest! Come on, your hands up!
Oh, hell broke loose.
I ain't no excuse to start going crazy. I can't stand people do that. Start breaking in everything, tearing stuff up.
The local unrest continues throughout the following week, and the city reports that they've handled at least 200 calls ranging from burglaries to property damage. According to officials, more than 140 businesses are damaged, including several instances of arson. In the midst of the ongoing protests and community reaction, Officer Potter resigns from the Brooklyn Center Police Department on April 13th, 2 days after the shooting. The following day, she is arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter in the death of Dante Wright.
So, yep, I'm just gonna, I know, I'm very sorry. Just, let's just face this way just for the sake of it. I'm just gonna pat everything down. Do you have underwear on?
No, I just,
Nothing?
sports bra.
Okay.
There's no pockets.
Just keep your leg a little bit blunt, thank you.
As she arrives at the jail, Potter has an emotional exchange with the officer escorting her.
I'd give you a hug, but it's probably not allowed.
What's that?
I can give you a hug, it's probably not allowed.
Yeah, I just be aware that once you walk in the door, everything is recorded, so to speak, and phone calls and everything, just, I'm sure you know that, I'm just, okay. And we'll make this as quick and painless as possible.
In September, the Minnesota Attorney General added first-degree manslaughter to her charges. At trial, Potter told the jury that she had never before used her taser or her gun on duty in her 26 years of policing, and insisted that she didn't want to hurt anybody that day. Dante's mother posted a message on Facebook calling for accountability.
Just see my son laying there, looked to me like he was dead, and I sat there and watched my son sit on the corner for hours and hours. That was my day. I watched my son underneath a yellow tent for seemed to be like a lifetime.
Kimberly Potter was convicted of first-degree manslaughter and sentenced in February 2022. The city of Brooklyn Center agreed to pay Dante Wright's family a lawsuit settlement of $3.25 million in June 2022. Kimberly Potter was released from prison in April 2023.
I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, when they were saying the manslaughter thing or whatever, I knew she would get off with like nothing happened. It just paid. That's what the regular always do. Just pay the family, give them $1 million, a couple million.
Like that can bring her son back.
That's gonna bring her son back.
I mean, the whole situation was messed up from the beginning with, you know, them trying to drive off and then.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, no, I ain't
She had that gun in her hand an ample amount of time to know which one. It don't matter, no 26 years she ain't never had to use it. But damn, you should go through training.
You go through training.
They need to start training them in tough situations. Like have some kind of training for them to do. And
heck yeah.
I mean, come on, that's no excuse. And then you got out of jail. You living your life free.
I just don't see like you just were pointing like. So you just probably looking at him, but you wasn't looking at the gun.
Feeling the weight or nothing.
Not feeling right.
But there's gonna be people that say, "Yo, you don't know how it is in that situation." Come on, man. Come on. It's a big difference. But y'all let us know y'all thoughts down below in the comment section. What other videos y'all want to see? Do drop them down below, man. Catch you on next video.
Catch you on next one.